It's a season for heavy hitters and gourmand fragrances. A lot of people are going to do a lot of gourmands and syrupy, thick, decadent fragrances for the season of fall. I'm here with my top 10 gourmands that I'm recommending for the season of autumn fall. And the first is going to be the note of chocolate. If you want something more of a realistic chocolate but not annoying at all, thank God it is bought with something else. This particular fragrance from Arabian Oud has a note of chocolate. There's rose, there's saffron, and then a heavy dose of oud and vanilla. And this is Resella from Arabian Oud. Very decadent, beautiful interpretation of a chocolate scent. It is not your ultra foodie, super annoying chocolate cocoa powder. That is not what you're getting for the most part. You're getting that oud bouquet vibe with a note of chocolate. It is a build up on that, DNA oud bouquet with the rose oud vanilla combo and then a bit of chocolate, added to this particular one. It is a very decadent, deep, rich fragrance. It gives me more of a beautiful, realistic vanilla chocolate, fragrance. It's been compared to several other fragrances like the Oud Mood from, Shagaf Oud, and then Oud Mood from Latafa. But I think this one feels a lot more decadent and a lot more rich because it has a note of chocolate. Whereas something like Oud Mood is more of the vanilla oud, combo in my opinion, and the rose, in my opinion. So there's a bit of twist here and there, and this is a very beautiful, realistic chocolate scent, although not the super annoying cocoa powder, cheap chocolate. It doesn't give me. It's like a very thick, decadent, rich, snow foodie but not annoying, and that is going to be reseller. A very beautiful, quite pricey, but it is so worth it. Longevity is amazing. Projection is like eternal. It fills up an entire room. It overtakes every single fragrance. If you try to layer this one, but it end up, overpowering a lot of other fragrances. So you might want to wear this one on its own or wear it is something a lot more powerful. And this is the note of chocolate, and this is Resella from Arabian Oud. For the note of creme brulee, vanilla patchouli, let's say creme brulee. I would like to go with creme brulee. It's going to be December vanilla. This is a love for me. I love this scent. This is a very thick, gooey creme brulee, patchouli, rambuzy, earthy, Banyadi in a sort of way, Middle Eastern leaning oud, fragrance. It is so decadent, so thick, boozy, spicy, rich, intense, flavorful. It gives you that, creme brulee with the touch sugar sort of feel. It gives you that. The sugar feels like touched or, caramelized. It feels like that. But that creme brulee is super dense and thick. It feels like, something thick and gooey. It feels so beautiful. One of my best vanillas ever, and this is December vanilla. If you're looking for a predominant creme brulee, patchouli heavy, vanilla heavy, boozy, in your face, loud and obnoxious in an annoying way sometimes, it is going to be December vanilla. But it is one that I love, I appreciate. It is not shy, it is beast mode, it is loud, it can be offensive, but I don't mind. I love the scent, and this is December vanilla from Paris Corner. So for the note of coffee, let's do a realistic coffee scent, why not? French coffee. This is a very beautiful coffee with a shot of, latte or milk. Very super realistic in your nose, coffee scent, espresso. It gives you a very beautiful, sweetened up, Western filled coffee with some lots of milk. The coffee feels like slightly roasted and slightly burnt in a way. Super foodie, super edible, super in your nose, in your face. If you show up in French coffee, someone would assume someone spilled some coffee on them. That is how realistic of a fragrance, the coffee scent it is. So beautiful, decadent, rich. It overtakes a lot of fragrances. I enjoy layering this one with other vanilla scent on its own. It's also beautiful. It is super realistic, foodie, milky coffee in a burnt, like slightly toasted coffee. It feels like that, but very realistic and foodie and cut through the cold. And this is French coffee. An oldie but a goodie, as people will say. This particular fragrance I have not been talking about a lot, but sometimes I feel like although it's discontinued, people would somehow, somewhere find it, You never know where people are getting certain sort of fragrances because I got it. And this is Dar Al Shuyukh, from the brand Mamlakat Al Oud. And this is so beautiful, super sweet, citrusy, vanillic, toffee, chocolatey coffee. It's a very beautiful scent. This is so good. If you find it anywhere, I've been asked several countless times. Anytime I show this one, that Ashuk, I can't for the love of God tell you where to find this one. I can't. I've searched for it high and low. I'm not finding it. I would love to have additional bottles. I would love to, but I can't find it anywhere. If you come across this, from Mamlakat Aoud, Dal Al Shuyukh, if you come across it anywhere, kindly blind buy it. Chances are you're not going to regret this one. It's a beautiful take on coffee, chocolate, vanilla, toffee, everything to do with the breakfast, breakfast, especially chocolates and, lattes and, toffees and caramel and syrups. That is what you're getting for the most part. I can't compare this one to anything. I think I even compared this one to Nebras at some point because that was the only thing that could come close to it. But it is nothing like Nebras. I enjoy this one 100% over Nebras. I'll pick this one 10 toes, 10 times above Nebras, and this is a very beautiful thing. So I would say if you find it anywhere, and I'm sure somewhere, somehow, someone is going to find it. Let me know if you ever, find it or put your hand on this or your nose on this one. This is Mamlakat Al Oud, Dar Al Shuyukh. I understand it's discontinued, and I think this is one of the fragrances they should bring back. They should really bring back. So this is Dar Al Shuyukh from the brand Dar Al, Khalij. It's Dar Al Khalij, from Mamlakat Al Oud. It's a very beautiful, intense, piercing. It overtakes a lot of fragrances. The sugary, toffee, caramel, syrupy, vanilla, cacao, coffee mixing. It's so beautiful. So on a more simplistic note, let's go with Ebhar from the Casamat, line from Rasasi. This is going to be your smell alike to Casablanca, but a more refined, sort of vibe to the Casablanca DNA. I enjoy them both, but my preference is Ebhar. It's your caramel, your sugar, your what else does it have? Vanilla, a very heavy dose of vanilla, sugary feel. That is what essentially it is. A very simple, basic vanilla scent, but also very beautiful. You can wear it on its own. You can layer it with several other fragrances. It goes with basically everything, just like Casablanca, it goes with everything. I can highly recommend this one. You don't have to think about it. An easy reach. You wear it on its own. It is beautiful. It is quite spicy. It is loud, but you're getting a sugary sweet, not super foody vanilla. And this is Casamat, Ebhar from Rasasi. So yeah, a blind buy, say fragrance. This, on the other hand, will not be a blind buy Gourmand. I love this, but it's not a blind buy, say, for the most part. I think people have bought it off my recommendation, and it's been sort of mixed, reviews. Others liked it, others did not. I love this. And this is Metalico from Paris Corner, fashioned after Metallic from Tom Ford. Your aldehyde, your mineral ozonic metallic, touch with the florals and a heavy, delicious vanilla ice cream. It's like tons and pressed vanilla, very cold. It feels very cold. It feels like, autumn. It feels like fall. It feels like very cold and pressed. That is how it is, like vanilla ice cream. You're eating vanilla ice cream outside and it's cold. That is how this one smells like, with the aldehydes and that metallic, like metallic sort of thing. It's so beautiful. A little complex, but also fluffy and light at the same time. And this is metallic, from not metallic, but metallico, from Paris Corner. I love the scent. It's so bold and unique and delicious at the same time. Not a lot of fragrances smell like this. Not a lot, can hold up to this one. Longevity is a bit of an issue. It's not like super beast mode, 24 hours. It's not. But if you love the scent profile and you can overspray, you can top up, that is going to be the fragrance for you, from Tom, a replica of Tom Ford's, own Metallic, and this is Metallico. I love this. It's so beautiful. On the more smoky coffee, I would say this is more of a coffee note. You would want to go with smoked wood and vanilla by the fireplace, but I think this is so much better than by the fireplace, in my opinion. I remember when this one first came out, it was being advertised as a clone of Tom Ford's Jasmine something something, but it's not. Apparently it is a by the fireplace, inspired. But I feel like this one feels a lot more decadent than by the fireplace. There's something very intoxicating, decadent, rich and thick and gooey, about this one. It feels so, dense and it's a coffee, vanilla, oud, smoky, yes, smoked oud, smoky, fragrance, but a very wearable smoke. It's going to cut through the cold beautifully. It is not annoying. It is rich, it smells rich. It smells so much expensive than it tastes, And the scent is so beautiful. Not your regular by the fireplace, in my opinion. I think it is so much better than the original by the fireplace and the several other dupes that has come, after it. There's been Amia Oud Intense. If you love Amia Oud Intense, consider this one as the more sophisticated, more complex, more decadent version of that. Although I enjoy Amia Oud Intense and I would highly recommend that too. But I think smoked oud and vanilla is more premium. It comes across as much more premium to me. And this is, smoked oud and vanilla. And I love this. So this is my sixth or seventh or eighth, recommendation. So the OG Khamrah has been a love for a lot of people. I barely speak about Khamrah, the Khamrahs, I love them, but for some reason, I don't know why I barely speak about them. But this is a very beautiful apple, pie scent with the cinnamon and the honey and the vanilla and the tonka and the hint of the florals. That is what essentially it is. You're getting your realistic baked apple pie. That is what you're getting for the most part. It's so beautiful, delicious and thick and decadent and woody. It's structured very well. This is a very well composed fragrance. It is nothing like Angel Share as we keep repeating. It's a very beautiful fragrance on its own, very wearable, very mass appealing. One of the best Latafis, Yeah, one of the best Latafis, and I highly recommend this. I mean, who doesn't have Khamrah? Who doesn't? It's time to bring them out. If you don't already wear it year round, it's time to bring out your Khamrah. And this is the original Khamrah. If you're on the more girly, marshmallow, raspberry, fruity side, let's go with Reyna from Maison Alhambra. Reyna Parfum. You can go with Reyna. You can go with Ansam Gold. I enjoy both of them. Although Ansam Gold gives me more of a complex, vibe than this one. Reyna is much more. There's orange blossom is a little bit, more. It feels a lot more smoother in a way. Whereas Ansam Gold has a bit of complexity to it. Although I enjoy it, I think I'm missing Ansam Gold. I feel like I might reintroduce Ansam Gold to my collection. I had a full bottle, but I have utilized it. But Reyna Parfum by Maison Alhambra is a very beautiful alternative to the Love Don't Be Shy, Oriana DNA, the raspberry, the citruses, the marshmallow, the whipped cream, the vanilla. It's a very beautiful, ultra feminine, foodie, but girly and plasticky and pink, and soft and gentle and flirty and fun. That is all Reyna is about, and I'll highly recommend that. It is not super loud, but it is a gourmand that will work, perfectly during the cold, months. Although for summer nights and even during high heat, I still enjoy this one. But this is a very beautiful, simplistic in a way, but also giving you something than the ordinary vanillas that a lot of people normally, go for during the colder autumn, winter season. And this is Reyna Parfum by Maison Alhambra. And the last fragrance is not going to be your typical autumn recommendation. This is a fruity, scent that is supposed to be peach and guava. But what I get for the most part is going to be, I get that peach, I get a guava, but I also get this mango pineapple accord a lot. This is Khair Dululu, and surprisingly, it's part of my autumn's fall recommendation just because I feel it is so thick and heavy. This is quite a complex one. I really honestly didn't like this fragrance from the beginning. When I first sprayed it, I was like, there's something a bit off about it that I didn't enjoy. But this, after going through aging, I feel like this is one of those, that needs to go through a little bit of more sitting, maybe around November, December would be the perfect month. Maybe it has to sit for around 5 to 6 months before we get the best version of it. But it's been about 2 months. I'm not getting a better version of this fragrance. and I enjoy it a lot more. It gives me that peachy, guava, sugary, syrupy, slightly smoky sort of thing. It is quite complex. I understand it's inspired by Sarah Baker's something something. I'm not a preview to that, but this is a very complex syrupy cake. It gives me that syrupy thick decadent characteristics that is going to work a lot more better in the colder months. I feel it's a bit cloying, because of that sugary can like very rock sugar feel that this one has. If it gets a bit cloying in the high heat, it's very beautiful. As a matter of fact, it's one of those that needs to go through tons of sitting. I mean, months and months of sitting if you have the time. But after sitting, it's much more better, much more reliable. I'm going to give it up to maybe November, December, and give you my final thorough, update. But after about 2 months, I enjoy this one a lot more, and I feel it's a fall sort of, recommendation than a summer one, maybe summer night or summer evening, because it's quite heavy. There's something very heavy and dense and syrupy, sugary about it that can be a little annoying in the high heat. And this is Khair Dululu. I think it's one that if you didn't like, you might want to revisit after a few months. It's one of those that needs a lot of time. So if you have the time, you might want to go for this one and forget about it for a couple of months and revisit. That is where you're going to get the true beauty of Khair Dululu. If you ever find Dar Al Shuyukh anywhere in the world, it should be the fragrance you pick up blindly, first. If you have any wish list and you come across Dar Al Shuyukh, trust me, you would want to pick this one up, before it gets extinct, So that is going to be it for today. And I hope this video found you well. So please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.